So for the past 12 or 13 months or so, I've spent a lot of time immersing myself in this technology right here. Garmin Livescope, forward sonar, live sonar, however you reference it. But I've spent a lot of time trying to learn the technology and implement it. And I've really enjoyed it. I find it fascinating. But I have a couple of observations and really a takeaway on how I'm going to change it up in 2024. And I could probably use your feedback at the end of the video. The first observation is that catching fish in open water is harder than it looks. You know, when you're chasing these fish that are suspended in 30, 40, 50 feet of water, they're in that water column there. It's really hard to catch them whenever they have the real thing around them. You know, most of these fish are bait fish oriented. They're chasing schools of bait fish. And when they have the real thing in front of them, it can be pretty challenging to get them to take your lure as opposed to the real thing. And I've rotated through Alabama rigs and Damiki rigs and jerk baits and, you know, glide baits, all the things that you're supposed to throw at them. I've kept it above the fish. I've certainly caught some, but it's not been the slam fest that I thought it was going to be. It's challenging. And the folks that do it on YouTube and do it well, they're really good at that. So observation number one, that open water game is tough. Observation number two, Livescope has dramatically improved my accuracy whenever I'm fishing offshore for bottom-oriented fish. So many times I've noticed if I'm throwing a jig or a worm on a brush pile, for example, it's 40 feet in front of the boat, 50 feet, whatever it is, make the cast, and I'm either left or right of it, or I'm short of it. And before it hits bottom, I can reel it in and correct that and put the bait right in the juice. So with that being said, it's made me incredibly accurate on the offshore approach. And both of those points together kind of lead to my final point, and that is that I'm going to change up how I'm using Livescope in 24. I'm going to focus less on the open water suspended fish, and I'm going to kind of go back to the way I learned how to fish offshore, and that's bottom-oriented fish that are next to drops or on points and channels and humps and so forth. I feel like I've done that for a long time, and I'm pretty good at it, and I'm going to utilize Livescope to help me be better at that game. And so I feel like I can use Livescope to, number one, improve lure accuracy. I can scan around and I can see, you know, isolated cover, or I can see a group of bass that I can cast to. That's how I'm going to utilize it. I'll still do the open water game because I still find that it's fascinating and fun, but I'm going to do less of that and kind of go back to the way I was fishing and utilize Livescope to supplement the way that I know how to fish. And where I could use your comments is maybe you could help me on getting better with that suspended group of fish. They're tough for me to catch. I would welcome your comments or feedback on how to get better at that, because that's really what we're all here to do, get better.